Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I wanted to introduce you to the Cat Scrappiness Crafter's Essentials die set. And I wanted to kind of show you this in its own video because it's such a huge set of dies, and I find that a lot of times these big sets with all kinds of basic dies retail for like $30+ and Cat has this whole set for $24 right now, which I think is a pretty good deal. But I wanted to show you what it cuts out, what's included in it, because I am going to be using it in videos, and just so you get an idea of what the full set looks like, because I'm sure I'll only be using pieces and parts in videos. Like, for instance, I should probably save the best for last, but I'm going to go with it first. These are magnetic vent covers that I cut down and put my dies on. These do not come in the die set. You don't get them, but I find it helpful because I did this with my Cat Scrappiness alphabet too, because again, she makes these huge alphabet sets at a reasonable price. By putting them on the magnet sheets, I'm able to store them in my pocket in a way that I can see them more easily. So they does come with this heavy duty pocket. And instead of just being in the standard plastic, you're going to get this pocket to put them all in. And then I found by putting them on magnetic sheets in the pocket, I was able to store them in a way that really works for me personally. So yeah, let's take a look at one little sheet of magnet at a time. This was a die that I was really excited about. This is something that I know I'll be having a video on very soon if it's not already up. And it cuts out what kind of looks like, reminds me of a film strip, but essentially like 3 windows. And I love, as many of you know, to color different critters and little images. Like, I really enjoy Copic coloring. And I thought this particular frame would be a perfect way to add a bunch of critters to a card and kind of make an interesting scene, make a fun shaker with them too. So having them sort of, like I was thinking, recently Cat got in Heffy Doodle stamps, and I have yet to color this stamp set up. I think it'd be really fun to have them sort of swimming through a scene with this frame die, for instance. And this is a standard A2 size card. I wanted to show you on that because some people indicated that was helpful to know what the size of the die is in comparison to a standard card. So there's that, and then the other one on this little magnet sheet here is just a skinny stitched rectangle. So I'll show you what that looks like die cut out. It stretches most of the way across an A2 size card, so it can just give you a little bit of detail. I could see stamping a sentiment there, or just making a bunch of them in a row and having that just tiny bit of detail really makes a big difference rather than them just being plain paper strips. So next sheet. I did not die cut these out for you. These are little stitching details, and there's a variety of them. They're really tight knit stitches. This one is dash and dot. This is just traditional dash stitches, just like that one. And then the final one is just dots, it looks like. Or sorry, they might be X's. They're little tiny dots to me. And that adds a nice texture behind the cards, but because it doesn't die cut out a shape, I didn't have an example for it, but that probably would have been helpful. Sorry about that, guys. So what this does have is this rounded rectangle. And as you can see, it mats really nicely on a card. You could put a background paper behind it, but it creates a really big chunk of area for a focal image. And it again has that stitching detail around it. I personally am a huge fan of just the little details there. There is a stitched square, which can be combined easily on a card, so you can put a couple of them. And something I wanted to point out, Cat has a bunch of sketches on the website that you could create with just the elements from this die set. So it kind of shows you how you could create a whole bunch of different cards just using these pieces. And you don't have to think about it too much because she already has those sketches, and you don't, a lot of times you see those sketches and they're really cool, but then you don't know what size everything is, but you won't have that issue with these because they're exactly the dies from the kit, or from the stamp set. No, die set. Sorry guys. There's also a star. This is what it looks like in scale of an A2 size card. So you get quite a few of them on a card. It isn't big enough for a sentiment or anything like that. It's just a great embellishment size. Next up, the next sheet of dies has some of the most sort of standard, I see myself using constantly kind of things. That is the large stitched rectangle. As you can see, when you put it on an A2 size card, there are thicker borders on the sides than the top, so it's not your sort of standard stitched rectangle, and it may be like the 4-bar size, because those are a little shorter and skinnier, but I think it's interesting because if you shop at Cat Scrappiness, you know that you can get the standard stitched rectangles or cross-stitched rectangles or scallop stitched rectangles or wonky wavy stitched rectangles. Like, this is a different size from them. Those are very standard A2 and smaller in scale size. So this offers something a bit different at least. Then there is a stitched circle, which again creates a nice place for a focal point. You could fit a little image and a sentiment all together on there. And then finally, the little stitched banner. I see myself using this one quite a bit. I like to have just a little someplace interesting to put my sentiments, and so I think that this one will work out nicely. I also sometimes just cut my own banners, but having that tiny stitch detail will certainly add some interest to the cards. So, yeah, that is an introduction to the die set. As you can see, it's a huge set with a lot of great basics, and Cat is coming out with another one soon. So if you love this one, you get a chance to play with it, see how useful it is. Let you know there's another one kind of coming down the line that I think will be equally as versatile and fun to play with. And if you're somebody who is just starting your die collection, something like this is going to give you a big bang for your buck. All right, as I said, I will be back with more projects soon. I also just wanted to put a little disclaimer. I am on the Cat Scrappiness design team, so I did receive these products for my design work, but I designed for Cat because I really love her products, because I think she makes quality dies at a great price. But there will be affiliate links and a coupon code in the video description so that you can check them out if you're interested. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!